This pretty girl is getting ready to wash up. Suddenly, a moth running towards the light fell into the glass. The girl didn't notice. She gulped it down. All she felt was the disgusting taste, and then the girl's body changed. For a moment, she was in a trance. The girl didn't care. She fell asleep. The next day, the alarm went off. Something magical had happened. Where was the girl? Oh my god. She had become completely transparent. The girl went to wash up as she always did. Only today she was frightened by her reflection in the mirror. She woke up her sleeping sister with a scream. The sister came to the bathroom to ask, but all she could hear was her sister's voice. She couldn't see anyone. Desperate, she used cold water to wake herself up. This revealed her silhouette. But after removing the towel, she was still empty. They were both terrified. The sister rushed to the police. At this point, the sister remembered that last night during her chemistry experiment, a moth came in and messed up. In the confusion, it touched the experiment. The potion had changed. When she caught the moth, she saw the moth turn transparent. The moth must be the culprit. Her sister was in trouble with her. What can she do now? She had to make an antidote. What a coincidence. Sister's boyfriend is here. He invites her to a Halloween costume party. She had to use her voice to get rid of her boyfriend, and then change into a costume. But how can she go out looking like this? Maybe she could get away with wearing a mask. But the potion was getting stronger and stronger. The clothes became invisible too. What could she do? Looking at her sister. Sister suddenly had a good idea. She could ask her sister to pretend to be herself. It must be everyone's childhood dream to be invisible. This girl accidentally drank a chemical potion, accidentally gained the power of invisibility. Now she has to go to a costume party. She has to ask her sister to pretend to be herself first. Since her sister doesn't know how to drive, she has to do it herself. A driverless car on the road. Oh my god. Scared the grandmother of a passerby and she almost got sick. The sisters worked together. The younger sister played the older sister seamlessly and blended in smoothly at the party, while the older sister stole a microscope from the school's laboratory to study her own body. On the way, she met her boyfriend and followed him. Wow, this gents is so heavy-handed. Fighting off nausea, carefully took away the bear jacket. She put on the bear costume to make her presence felt. But after a few minutes of fooling around, this invisible superpower, the bear's coat was swallowed up too. What a coincidence. A classmate saw this bizarre scene. The boy was so frightened that he couldn't speak with his tongue. The costume party was finally over. It was time for the next hockey game. The sister was very keen on this game. The sister had no choice but to play on, even though she was obsessed with chemistry. She doesn't know anything about sports, but it was a sure win. Why? Because her sister has superpowers. She helped her sister along the way. Blatant cheating. The opponent was not convinced. The sister's magic moves. She won the game easily. Then the sister rushed back home. She used a microscope to study the state of her cells. Sister's cells were also disappearing. This meant that a cure had to be found before 12 o'clock. Otherwise, she would be invisible for the rest of her life. The security guard on the phone. Suddenly he heard a knock at the door. He went to check, but no one was there. When a toolbox automatically crosses in front of him, it suddenly stops again. The guard is still wondering. All the lights in the hall turn on automatically. A basketball slides up and down the stairs. It was as if someone was operating it. Then a paint bucket floated up on one side. A letter was written around the guard. It took a few moments for the guard to get his head around it and try to escape. It wasn't a haunting or a prank. It was a sister who was a chemist. She had accidentally developed an invisibility potion. Coincidentally, her sister drank it by mistake. In order to create an antidote as soon as possible, she had to do it in the chemistry room at school. The scene just now was the sister's attempt to scare off the security guard. To scare off the security guards. Then her sister did the same experiment as yesterday. The moth was invisible. Now she has to develop a potion to make it appear. Time was running out. A few close classmates worked on it together. With the joint effort, they finally extracted the water vapor for the experiment. But the sister drank it and still didn't show herself. By now it was past 12 o'clock. No one wants to give up. Thinking about the missing link, suddenly the sister thought. Sister had a habit of drinking a glass of ginger ale before going to bed. It must be the acidity of the soda and the solution. The acidity of the soda and the solution must have mixed together. She added a soda. Another cup was made and everyone held their breath. Finally, the sister